Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for watching the driver's meeting for Hannigan. We're going to cover quite a few things today, so grab a snack and make yourself comfortable.
Okay, you got your snacks? This is all for the Labor Day Dirtcross at Hannigan Speedway in Bellingham. We're super excited. It's going to be a really fun weekend. A little bit about what you can expect. It's a 2-day event. So on Saturday, we will have day racing. We will break for dinner. Bring your own dinner. There won't be food trucks or anything. And then we're going to do night racing. And then on Sunday, we'll just have one race session. So race, dinner, race, sleep, race again. We have some pretty hefty COVID protocols for this event coming up. Just full disclosure, the health department has been watching really closely in Bellingham what has been going on at Hannigan, so we have to be sure to follow all the rules. The track is very close to the road. There's a lot of visibility to it, so we want to be sure that anyone watching from outside will be able to see that you guys are really great rule followers, which you have been so far, so thank you for that. Let's keep that up. So with that in mind, please wear a mask at all times unless you are in your car. When you are in your car, have a mask with you. One thing we've noticed that it's easy to hop out of the car and start talking to someone when you're done racing. So, and you don't have your mask with you. So just tuck it in your car somewhere safe. We're going to practice.
Best bet?
Oh yeah.
Have one of these, put it around your neck. Super easy. Get out of your car when you're done racing, just pop it up.
Way to come prepared. Please maintain good physical distancing. So 6 feet between you and anyone who does not live in your household. Please and thank you. We are only going to allow entry to people who have signed the digital waiver online in advance of the event by the deadline. This will all be in your driver info email. You are all welcome to bring guests from your household only, but they must also sign the digital waiver in advance. If they do not sign the waiver, they will not be allowed in. If they aren't in your household, they will not be allowed in. So please just be sure that you're following those rules. Ride-alongs are allowed for your household members, but not for anyone else. So no letting your friends jump in and ride along with you. Even at night when you're hanging out afterward, if you're camping, all of that, unless you're with the people that you came with, please just be sure to keep good distancing and wear your mask around them. I think that's everything COVID related. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I think that's it.
Good. Let's get past the boring stuff. Let's talk about what to expect at the event.
Okay, Hannigan, if you haven't been there before, there is a lot of elevation change. If I remember last year, the course, there was 220 feet of elevation change, and it's up and down and up and down. So just, if you feel a little timid about it, that's okay. Start slow. When you get to crests, if you don't want to have the car come off the ground, have hard landings or anything like that, just lift before the crest. The car will follow the feature itself, and you won't go soaring through the air. But if you do want to get a little air, there's definitely going to be a couple places for that in a controllable way. This is a motorcycle track. If you're there with your pit bike or your mini bike, we have to wear a helmet when riding around. The venue is very particular about this, and let's make sure we follow those rules. So then let's get into night racing. So this is one of the great things about Hannigan is we do a night race there. So you'll have the opportunity to see the course during the day. You'll run it a couple times, and then we will run it at night. Most of the gates are actually going to be denoted with a reflective cone this time so that you can see it at night. Often the pointer cones are not, because we don't have enough, but either way, you'll have an upright, and you'll be able to see the gate. Make sure you have good lights on your vehicle. What is required? You are required to have working headlights, taillights, and hazards. The only exception is UTVs do not have to have hazards. They have to have headlights and taillights. If you have a mechanical on course, it's a little harder for the course workers to tell what's going on because it's coming at you. It's just a set of headlights and going away. It's a dim pair of taillights going away. So throw on your hazards. That lets them know that you're having a problem, and we can radio and make sure car doesn't come up hot behind you. If you're a UTV, get yourself to a stop. Pump your brake lights like it's a hazard light, and that will also signify to the others that you're having a mechanical. So speaking of lights, probably a good idea to have some sort of light for your pits. It'd be really awful to drop a nut or a bolt into the darkened abyss of gravel or grass. So there's rechargeable work lights that you can get, or you can get something with a battery and use a generator. But either way, be a good idea to get some lights, at least for the evening.
Yep, we highly recommend headlamps. Those are nice if you're working on your car or just trying to get yourself packed up to go.
Yes.
Also,
but please don't wear the headlamp out on course.
That's a good point. Okay, let's talk a little bit about working the course specifically at night. So we'll cover later just general working the course, but some special provisions for working the course at night. You will, of course, be wearing your reflective vest, just like always, but this is when the reflective piece comes in very handy. Just be extra aware. It's dark. You will not be as easily seen or not seen as quickly. So just heads up all the time. You already know you can't have phones and cameras out there, but just eyes on the cars at all times.
Yes.
You say something?
A safe, something that may be a little precarious in the daylight, will be downright dangerous at night. So make sure you're standing somewhere very clear, of course, at night, just to be safe. You're harder to see. They're harder to see what the car is doing.
Yep, you'll just stand a little farther back than usual.
Yeah.
Err on the side of caution. So we always tell you, if you see a cone go down and you're not sure you can get it before a car comes, just leave it. That applies even more here. It's dark. When you get out there, you may not be able to see it as well. The car may not be able to see you. So just be extra careful so that you are protecting yourself and the drivers when you're out there on course. So we're just asking for a little extra effort and attention.
Yep.
Those are our Hannigan specific protocols. We're going to get into a little bit about the signals and the lights for working the course at night.
Yeah, that's right. For night racing, we use flashlights with cones in place of red flags. To turn them on, there is a button at the bottom. When the course is hot, they should be set to green. To change colors, rotate the body of the light. For a red flag, switch the light to red. For no response, remove the cone and direct at the driver. You can also switch it to white to find or check a displaced cone.
Here is what you can expect for race day. Once you are through the gate, you will set up your paddock area. Think of paddock as like your home base. You'll unload your car, you'll set out your tent, your easy up, whatever you have going on, and you're gonna get your car ready for tech inspection.
Yeah, so at tech inspection, what they're going to do is they are going to make sure, first of all, that wheel bearings, ball joints aren't loose. They're going to come around. They're going to shake all four of your wheels, see if it clunks back and forth. They're going to ask you to show us that you have good pedal pressure on your brakes. They're going to want to also check on the cars that aren't drive-by-wire that you have a good throttle return. And then they're also going to want to make sure that your battery is secure in the vehicle. While they're at it, they're going to make sure that you have all the appropriate stickers and numbers on the vehicle, as well as that you don't have any loose cassettes kicking around in your car, or records.
8-track?
Or maybe an 8-track or two in there. No, seriously, just make sure everything's out of the car, and we don't want any coffee cups kicking around in there or anything like that, because I will tell you, if you have anything in your car, as soon as you go in for the first corner, it's going to end up right under your brake pedal.
There's like a magnet under there.
That's right.
Once you're through tech inspection, you'll go check in. We will verify your number, check that you are a valid driver, and we'll make sure you have a timing card, an RFID card. Mm-hmm. That's a great time to then park your car back at paddock and go walk the course. Walking the course is a chance to see it, to take it in at a slow speed before you start racing. So walk the course as many times as you can to set yourself up for success for race day. Every race is a work-run format. You will race part of the day and you work part of the day. Generally, you're out on course shagging cones, picking them up, making radio calls, whatever it might be. We will cover that. But just be prepared for racing and for standing out in the elements. Your time over the course of the day is tracked. You will get multiple runs on the same course, and we score you cumulatively. So the lowest time overall in class takes home the hardware.
And to answer the question before it's asked, there will be no dropped runs.
No dropped runs.
All of them count.
Yep. So that is what you can expect. We have some general safety procedures we like you to follow the whole day.
Yep, so general safety, no guns, no drugs, no alcohol, no cell phones in the vehicle that aren't secure. I do not want passengers holding the cell phones. If the passenger and driver holds the cell phone, I really hope drivers don't do that. Yeah. But if we see somebody holding a cell phone in the car, it will be a red flag. You will be given a DNF and asked not to do it again. Also, we need the windows up wherever there's a person, so on the driver's side. If there is a passenger in the passenger side, the passenger window has to be up. Back windows can be down, and it needs to be up enough that we can't fit 2 fingers through it, meaning that you get 1 inch of window cracked, and that's it. When you pull up to the start line, you're ready to go. Please have your helmet on. Please have your seatbelts on. Please have your windows rolled up. Please have your cigarettes extinguished. Make sure your seatbelt's tight, the strap on your helmet is tight, and you're ready to go. Okay?
Now you mentioned a red flag. Let's talk about that.
Red flag procedure as it pertains to drivers. If you see a red flag, we want you to come to a stop as quickly as you can safely. We do not need you to lock all 4 wheels and go skidding off the course. We need you to get stopped in a controlled manner and just sit and wait. A course worker will come up to your car. They will inform you as to what we ask you to do. Usually it's either turn around, go straight back to start, or it is drive the course at parade lap speed and then get directed at finish. Red flags can happen for all kinds of reasons. You could have a flat tire, or a vehicle ahead of you is disabled or stuck on course, or maybe your car is on fire and you don't know it. Nevertheless, please come to a stop. If you pass 2 red flags, that will earn you a little chat with me. If you pass 3 red flags, you are deemed DNF for that run. So please pay attention. Don't just have the red mist focused on a very small spot. Please be aware when course workers are waving red flags at you.
So if the red flag is aimed at you because you have a D-bead where the tire is knocked off the rim, what do you get to do?
So D-bead, there's 1 free D-bead. In that process, you will have an opportunity, 10 minutes, to change it and get back out to course. You get a second D-bead. You will also be red flagged. We red flag you for a D-bead because the car is already listing to one side, and that rim can dig in and create a rollover situation. And additionally, we don't usually want you driving across our finish hose with a tire that's not on a rim. It's a good way to just cut the hose. So we will red flag you. Second D-bead is a DNF. Third, fourth, fifth, so on are DNFs. So make sure that you have appropriate pressure in your tires before you get out there.
And that same 10-minute break you get, you could take it for another reason. You don't have to wait for a D-bead. Let's say something breaks on the car. You just decide you want to change your tires just because.
Yep.
You get 10 minutes.
You just need a mental moment, whatever it takes.
In order to take your 10 minutes, you must let either someone in grid or someone at timing know. We will start a timer as soon as it is your turn at the line, and that is when your 10 minutes start.
Yes.
If you fail to notify someone and you take a 10-minute break, you get a DNF if you're not at the line when it's your turn to start. We just don't know where you are.
Correct. So when you do ask for that 10 minutes, please make sure that you talk to somebody in grid or registration. Make sure they understand you are taking your 10 minutes. I see quite a few people are flustered about something. They run up, I'm taking my 10 minutes, run away. Maybe somebody heard them, maybe somebody didn't. Make sure, hey, taking my 10 minutes, make sure they understand and acknowledge. Your 10 minutes starts from when you're supposed to be at the start line, 25 seconds after that. Your 10 minutes starts. So we will take notice when the next car goes up, when that car is sent, that is when your 10 minutes will start on the clock. And you have 10 minutes to get back, let them know that you're there, and at which point we will fit you in as soon as we conveniently can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about course working.
Yes.
Part of your day will be out on the course. Generally, you'll be shagging cones. When you're out there, you are required to wear an orange vest. Please don't wear a yellow vest. That is the color we give our media people.
Yes.
You need to be on your feet at all times when cars are hot. If we take a tractor break or a watering break, we'll let you know, give you a chance. You can take a little break yourself.
Yes.
No phones out on course and no cameras. So we want you to have your eyes on the cars at all times. And they're often coming pretty close together. So you watch one go by, you quickly turn, watch the next one go by. It's very important for your safety and for everyone else's safety. You will have a captain at your corner station who will have a radio and a red flag. They have a couple jobs. First job is making sure that the corner is covered. They'll tell you where to stand, what cones you're responsible for, and they'll coordinate with the other corners to make sure that all the cones are covered throughout the course. They're also responsible for the radio. So if you see a driver hit a cone, you'll run out, you'll put it back where it was, and you'll signal to them that they hit a cone. It's your job for the cones in your section that you know exactly where they were and you put them back exactly in the right place. So you have a couple tricks for making sure that cones get back in the right spot. What are they?
I do. So on the slaloms, what I would do is I would pace them out so you know how many paces apart they're supposed to be. And then I often try and find something like maybe a few rocks, and I line them up in a row directly in line with the cone so that I know I'm getting it in an appropriate position, side to side, front to back. And because it's really hard, you autocross, they draw chalk around it, knock the cone, you have the chalk. We could scribe a line, but as soon as they hit it, it wipes it away. So it's really important that these cones do get back into their appropriate place. Just as you would want them put back in their appropriate place when it's your turn to run.
Let's talk a little bit about when things don't go quite right. For example, you were watching a car go by, you turn around and you see a cone down. You think the car that just went by hit it, but you didn't see it happen. Do not call it in. Just put it back. If you don't see the car hit it, don't call it. We want to be sure we're being extra fair, and that is why it's just as important to keep your eyes on the cars at all times. Sometimes things go a little sideways. Just get that cone back in the right spot and watch for it for next time. Same thing if a cone goes down and you don't feel like you can safely get to it before the next car comes, don't. Just leave it, let the car go by, and then reset it. If it's a consistent issue throughout the day, let your captain know. They can radio in that maybe we need a longer gap before the next car. That's totally fine. If you're a driver and you come upon a cone that is down on course.
Yeah, if you're a driver, or even if you're working course and there's a cone down and the driver sees it and the driver stops by that cone and acknowledges that that cone was down, at which point you need to radio to us that there was a cone down, the driver signaled, and what happens at that point is that driver will get a rerun. If that driver drives past that cone and finishes course, then that run counts. They only get the rerun if they stop on course and acknowledge that that cone is out of position. Additionally, if you do put a cone out of position and it's way out of position and a driver recognizes it, just acknowledge it. It's okay. People make mistakes. Some drivers know exactly where every cone is, and if you shift that cone, they will know. And if they call it out and it actually is out of place, that we will give them a rerun. Now, if you stop and that cone isn't out of place, that gets you a DNF. So just make sure before you try to decide you're going to stop and gain an advantage that you better be sure.
Yeah, but if there's a cone obviously down on course, stop,
Yes.
point at it, let the course, captain know, and
Yes.
they'll red flag and
Yes.
radio it in.
Yes. So let's also talk about red flag. Red flag procedure for workers. So your captain should have their radio in their hand. They also should have the red flag in their hand at all times. The captain really shouldn't be shagging cones. They should be watching over, getting ready to make all the calls, being aware of what's going on in case there is a red flag. If you see a car catching another car, you should wave the red flag. Let us know that what's happening as well. Like if there's a car that is disabled, going slow, and another car is coming hot behind it, wave that red flag. If you see a D-bead, wave the red flag. If we call over the radio, red flag, red flag, red flag, that means everybody should be waving a red flag immediately. Let's make sure that that doesn't mean that we're running back, grabbing the red flag and then waving it. We should be waving it immediately because we have it in our hands. Now we may call COM 5, 6, and 7 red flag. We'll repeat it a couple times, and that means that we just want the comms that we called 5, 6, and 7 waving the red flag. We don't want 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 doing, or 1, 2, 3, and 4 doing it, just the ones that we asked for. And sometimes we do that just so that we can complete a run without disturbing that time, yet we can safely stop a car out on course.
Yep. Okay. Enough of course things. A couple final notes. One, we always have Wi-Fi on site. You can connect to the Wi-Fi, see your times, see the scores, see your place in class. We always have instructions posted for you to do that. They're there at timing. At the end of the day, please be sure to clean up after yourselves. We always want to leave the venues better than we found them, so that they invite us back.
Yep.
Be sure to drive slow, be a good steward of the sport, pop into the local grocery store, mini mart, buy some food on your way out. Be sure to support the community. Yeah.
Just to add to that, if you see garbage out there on course and it's not your garbage, it's never our garbage because we always pick up after ourselves. But it's somebody else's garbage, let's pick it up.
Yeah.
Let's leave these venues cleaner than we get it. Let's have the guys who run the venues come in after us and be like, oh wow, I remember there was a bunch of garbage out here, now it's all gone. Let's just pick it up. We have the buckets. You can throw your cans and bottles and whatever in the buckets, and then bring it in at the end of your shift and throw it all away, or just make sure we clean up, and let's make sure that we take care of the area around us, that we don't go ripping off at the end of races.
Yep. If you have any questions leading up to the race, email us at info@nwrallyassociation.com. We respond pretty quickly there. Now keep in mind, during race week, we're a little busy. Please try and get your questions in advance. If they're urgent, just know you're going to get a little bit slower of a response. But you guys are watching this video well in advance of the event because you are responsible, so I don't see that being an issue.
That's right. Rallycross courses are delineated by cones. A gate is 2 cones wide enough apart for a car to go through. Or you can have an upright cone with a pointer cone. If you have a pointer cone, you must go around this side of the pointer or you incur a 10-second penalty. If a cone is knocked over, it is a 2-second penalty. If a cone is knocked out of the box but stays upright, it is also a 2-second penalty. This is a double gate. Penalties are double for missing this element. Each cone is worth 2 seconds, but if you miss this gate, that's 20 seconds. This is an optional slalom. You can enter the slalom on this side, or you can enter on this side, but you must alternate sides for each subsequent cone. If the slalom has a pointer at the beginning, then the slalom is non-optional, and you must enter the slalom this side of the pointer, or you'll incur a 10-second penalty for each missed gate. Hand signals can be an easy way of communicating with your comm captains. If you come across a cone that's knocked over, make an X with your arms like this. If it has moved but stayed inside of its box, make a safe gesture like this. But remember to reset the cone in its original position.